Thank you, Bruce. Mr. President. I'm extremely gratified and flattered and honored to receive this award and to hear what Bruce had to say about me. It's a true honor in receiving this, and it's also, I want to say, it's a true honor for my lovely wife, Julie, of 47 years. It's sitting right there at the head table. I would also likewise like to say that my students are here, my current students at the University of New Orleans, and they've been somewhat influential in this, which I appreciate greatly. Finally, in terms of acknowledgments, the first winner of the Webb Medal was Francis Ogilvy. He was a chairman at Michigan for a while when I was there. He was my mentor. And then he went on to MIT, but he was the first recipient of the Webb Medal, as you can see listed in the program. He's the godfather of one of our children. And Francis was also instrumental in the creation of the School of Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering at the University of New Orleans. I'm sorry Francis couldn't be here. He's in good health, but he just doesn't come much to the annual meeting anymore. I'd like to go further and give you a little bit of my background as I see it. I joined this field as a graduate mechanical engineer from Clemson University in 1963. I had no more predisposition for this than a boyhood love of boats and fishing with my father. I accepted a job with Newport News Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company, as it was named at the time, because it was my best offer. I was placed in the engineering technical department doing thermal pipe stress analysis. That's the department at Newport News that produced the legends Mark Ireland, John Woodward, and Jack Kane. I was at Newport News for 10 years, including 3 years in school at Michigan. While at Newport News in those early years, I was fortunate enough to work with some outstanding marine engineers. They seal the directions of my future. The most influential of those people for me was Mr. Chester L. Long. He deserves it. At that time, he was the assistant head of engineering technical. Chet was and still is the best engineer that I've ever known. I've tried to model my career on the basis of the principles that I learned from him in solving real ship engineering problems. Chet never, ever tried to make engineering decisions without a mathematical model as a basis for understanding underlying reasons. As an example, a boiler feed pump steam turbine experienced a blade failure on dock trials of a military ship. a standard CL long solution approach with two distinctly different and separate steps was exercised. First, what was the cause? Defective design or operational issues. And second, with the cause concluded, what was the fix? But never ever was a fix tried without thorough engineering modeling and analysis as needed to understand the problem. To cover both aspects, Chet would insist that an engineering mathematical model be expeditiously formulated and applied in first seeking the problem cause. Once the cause was settled upon, the engineering model was applied to work out a solution on paper. Then and only then were the actual hardware modifications to affect the solution developed. This was in the days of minimal computing capability. The old Marchant mechanical desktop calculators were used for numerical analysis. And I think overall the problem was more interactive, was more effective. The solution was more effective then than it is now, if not because more interactive thinking was required then. With the boiler feed pump turbine problem, a careful vibration analysis with the impulse blades of the turbine was performed on site. We had to do it. This ship was headed for sea trials and it had to be fixed. And the vendor was calling his attorneys. It confirmed that a resonance was occurring in a higher harmonic of the nozzle passing frequency. In a corrective examination, blade caps were welded together by our welding engineering department in groups of 2, 3, 4, and 5, analyzed, and the rotors retested in the shop to confirm calculated results. The blades were ultimately welded in groups of 5. This resolution occurred over a period of about 2 weeks as the ship was being feverishly readied for sea trials. Trials were subsequently completed successfully and on time. And that military vessel completed active service with its feed pump turbine so corrected. But it did not happen without careful application of engineering principles and theory. Many of my past students will remember this particular example from ship dynamics class. I emphasized to them that they could be of no practical value in solving such a very important engineering problem unless they knew some applied theory. These ship engineering stories and analyses with which I was involved provided the backbone of my 37-year teaching career since those early days at Newport News. In awarding the Webb Medal to me this evening, you are also recognizing the dedication to sound ship engineering that existed at Newport News shipbuilding in the 1960s. I thank you in the name of Chet Long and for all of us that were part of that era, at that place, and at that time. Thank you.